Hey guys, this is Todd. Welcome to the Do Different podcast. We're going to discuss a lot of different topics. We got a fantastic guest. This is Jeni Jonte. She is a high performance mindset and performance coach. So, welcome to the show, Jenny.
Hi, Pat. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be talking with you today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for the viewing audience and those that don't know you, maybe just kind of give us a little bio and rundown on kind of what you focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you said, I'm a high performance mindset and prosperity coach. So, I primarily focus on helping entrepreneurs and sales professionals to kind of 10x their business and just reach new levels that they never thought were possible. But the information and things that I share can really be used for anybody. It's just all about changing from the inside out and to get new results in your life. And that can be in your business, in your personal life, or whatever it is. So it's just really fantastic information and can have a really great transformation for people.
Yeah, I think, it's for the most part, I think everyone out there wants more or wants different, and they have all these goals and aspirations, and to be able to put together programs or guidance or at least a coach or someone to help along those lines can dramatically change the trajectory of people's lives. So walk me through kind of some of the stuff with, like you were talking about, with working with entrepreneurs. Like what's some commonalities that you see that helps them 10x their business?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize the ways that they are stopping themselves from being able to have the success that they desire. In some aspects, I've met so many people that don't even have actual goals. Like they say that they have a goal, oh, I'd like to have this or whatever it is. But so we talk a lot about setting what we call C-type goals. So it's not like an A type is, something you've done before, something you know how to do. A B is like, yeah, I think I could accomplish this if I do this, this, and this, and it all lines up. And then a C is like another level, right? So it's taking you beyond what you think is possible. It's something you don't know how to do right now. And it's exciting and scary at the same time. And I think a lot of people, even in their businesses, just are really holding themselves back on what they think is possible. Just by listening to other people around them and what society says is possible. And like, there's no way that you can 10x your business. That's not possible. But it really is. And if you just are more open to that, I think that's one of the first steps that I usually address with people.
Yeah, I think I've always kind of told people like your goals should do two things. One, it should excite you,
Mhm.
and two, it should scare you
Absolutely.
because it goes beyond kind of what that norm is and gets you to actually try to you test yourself and see how far you can actually take things.
Yeah, yes. And um, we look back a lot at like the work that Earl Nightingale did as well, if you're familiar with him. And he talks about a worthy ideal. So, like something that you're striving for that is worthy of your attention and it's worthy of your time. And it's something that you truly want. And then also, he would always say that as soon as you set the goal, you're already successful. And the success is in the path that you take to get there, the journey that takes you there, and the way that you're going to grow and change as a person as you're striving to reach that huge C type goal.
Yeah, it's I think people sometimes when they truly embrace it and get into it, almost kind of shock themselves as to what they're capable of.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's another big part of what I help people with because even if it's something external that they're trying to do and like get more leads or whatever it is with their business, it still has to start from within. And so one of the biggest things that I know was kind of a revelation for me is just really tapping into the idea of my spirit. And we have this perfect spirit within us that has infinite potential and it has, all of this incredible energy and all of these things that, but we put limitations on it in our own thinking. So starting to try to open yourself up to that and what that truly means can really be a huge game changer.
Yeah, that's so spend a little bit more time talking about that because it 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 can play a huge role and can certainly derail your journey before it even starts if you're not there. So kind of expand on that a little bit, like what you were just talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so what we look at is that you are not a physical body, you are in a physical body. So, like, this body is just where your spirit is at while you're here on this planet. And your spirit has, as I said, infinite potential and infinite energy. And it can do all of these great, amazing things. It is directly connected with God. You were made in the image and likeness of God. And so you have this divine heritage that so many of us don't even realize or understand the true potential of. It goes beyond what like sometimes our human minds can fathom, and being able to start tapping into that and seeing what your true potential is can just amaze and open doors you never thought were possible.
Yeah, and like you said, like your true potential, I think it's once you make the decision like I'm going to do something different and you cross the bridge, make sure turn around, burn the bridge, don't go back, don't give yourself that out, and then truly try to push through. And I think a lot of times people, as they gain some successes, it gives them confidence and that starts to grow and grow and grow. And what they thought was their ultimate goal or wherever they wanted to get on day one, 4 months in, by the end, they're like, that wasn't even a blip. Like that's so far in the past because I've grown X, Y, and Z beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have these paradigms that sometimes we don't even know about, just residing in our subconscious that are controlling our actions and our results that we're getting. And once you start to become aware of that, and like you said, you make a decision, you set the goal, you make a decision, and you commit to that decision 100%. Like you don't go back, you don't look in the past. That is the past. And those results are from your old paradigms. You change all of those things and then you can, yeah, you can make some really huge amazing progress.
Yeah, and that's people don't realize it, but like people like you and I, that's fun for us. Is like when we have clients that they do embrace it and they do start to stretch themselves and they do start to accomplish these goals in this life and things that they wanted that they never thought possible. That's fun because then they start to teach us basically a lot of different things because they've gone beyond where they thought they could ever get to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very exciting to see. I know somebody else, I can't think of her name right now, but she would always say, amazing, not surprising. So it's amazing to see the results, but it's not surprising. So I'm like, I knew that was in you and I saw that potential and I knew that you could do it. But I'm really glad that now you're seeing it too and that you are getting the results that you were hoping to.
Yeah, for sure. So just to switch gears a little bit, like we talked a little bit about like working with entrepreneurs and 10xing their business and um, so how, if any, or what differences do you see when you're working with someone on more of a personal basis, not so much like a entrepreneurial or a business basis?
Yeah, I think at the heart of it, it's all the same steps, the same ideas. It just depends on what it is that you are trying to change or what you are trying to achieve, right? So if you're purely looking at your business and I want to set these goals, I want to reach these results, I'm just not getting what I want right now, and your focus is going to be mostly on that. Now, along the way, you're also going to be making personal changes and you're going to grow in so many ways beyond just what your business will do. which I think has been really cool to see, like even the relationship changes, like other areas in their personal life that change just as a result of the work they're doing that is geared towards the business. But, I've seen other people, some do it for health conditions or for relationships that they'd like to see differently, or their parenting, or whatever it is. I mean, you really can apply these same ideas. So I utilize it. I guess I should have led with that. Thinking into Results program, which is a Proctor Gallagher Institute program. So it's these amazing steps that take you through all of these different things that you can focus on, these areas, your goal setting, your paradigms, your self-image, going through the terror barrier when you try to set new paradigms and you're trying to achieve those big C type goals that you never thought were possible. So you really can apply it to all of these different areas. And it's really fun to see the crossover and to hear the personal stories of how people are changing, even though they're not, that wasn't what their focus was on.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, everyone out there says, well, I'm unique and I've got this to deal with and this or that or whatever. In the end, at the beginning of the year, everyone's resolution or whatever you want to call it falls into one of three categories. That's it. It's health, wealth, relationships.
Exactly.
You can be unique and have all these different things. Ultimately, it's going to filter into one of those three buckets. And the beauty of what you've been talking about and what kind of the whole purpose of this show is to make it simple. It doesn't have to be complex. So talk a little bit about how, with you and with your programs, how you take what can be complex problems or what people think are complex and help them actually simplify everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the ways that have brought it the most simple to me is our stick figure drawing. And I should have had something to write it to show it for you. Um, because it's looking at the idea, we're trying to change the mind, right? And we think in pictures. So if I tell you to, what's your kitchen look like, or what's your car look like, you can see the image very clearly on your mind. You can see what that is, but we can't see our mind because it is movement, it is being, it is in every cell of our body, but it's not the brain. That's what we tend to picture. So being able to picture what our mind looks like we have like a nice circle, we've got our conscious and our subconscious mind. And then our subconscious mind, our emotional mind, is what drives the body, our vibration, and gets the results that we're getting. So to me, simplifying it into that, like, okay, I see all of this information is going into my conscious mind. I can visualize that now. I can see where I need to change and impress upon my subconscious mind what it is that I truly want. And then now I can change my results. So, I mean, it's really kind of magical when you can just put it into this super simplistic little stick figure drawing, but it makes the biggest difference in all the world. I think that when I first learned that, I was like, okay, like all of these things are coming together. My 10 to 15 years of my own personal development and growth that I've been doing. And I'm like, okay, all the light bulbs just went off. Like I'm getting it now. I can see where these things are connected and how I can change that.
Yeah, because I think it's for some, who knows what reason, but human nature tends to take something that should take 5 steps and turns it into 15. Whereas your goal actually should be the opposite. If something's supposed to take 5 steps, then you need to be able to simplify it to two or three. And it's like you said, just having clarity on not only what you're doing and what's needed, but most importantly is why. And that's why I love what you're talking about, like your subconscious mind and your emotional intelligence, because that's gonna be your biggest driver is finding what your true why is behind, you know, I want to 10x my business. And okay, well, why? And
Yes.
you get the more people talk about it, you're going to uncover stuff in yourself that you may
Mhm.
not even have known and not have tied together, but it might have something to do with, your kids and your legacy, but
Mhm.
and your business is tied to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can't just be, I want more money for having more money. Like there has to be something deeper there, something that you're getting emotionally connected to and some reason why you want that more money. Like you said, like for me, first starting out, one of my biggest things is I have a deep passion for trying to help end human trafficking. So that is a huge drive to why not only do, of course, I want to help people and help them change their lives. I want to help my family, absolutely, but I want to make a huge impact in this field. And like having all of these deep reasons why I do what I do every single day, that gets me up in the morning excited. And that makes me, you develop your will, your laser focus on what your why is so you can block out all the other distractions because there's a lot of them and and be able to really try to strive for that. And I think that's, you hit it on the head right there. That why is so crucial.
Yeah, and you're right. It might start with a what you want,
Mhm.
but where we everyone needs to get to is truly digging down. Like every fifth grade teacher in elementary school taught us, ask why at least 5 times before you get to the actual answer. We need to
Mhm.
do that with ourselves too, is okay, I want X, and start asking and be honest with yourself about why is that important? Why is it important? And digging down, um, because you're right. That's when you figure that out. That's where you get up in the morning and you jump out of bed, ready to go for it, instead of like most people, hitting snooze 3 times and then scrambling because you're late. You should
Mhm.
be excited for your daily life, not dreading it.
That's right. And if you're dreading it, then you need to create a life that you love. But I love what you said because I think so many people just go through the motions because that's what they've been told to do. And so one of the first things that I do with people is have them just sit and imagine and write a list out of your wants. What is it that you want? Like, how many people do you talk to that are like, I don't really know? They've never even given themselves permission to dream and imagine what could be possible. They're like, I just do this to do this, and then I get through the day, you know? And they're like, no, but like, what do you really want? And look at your personal wants and your professional wants. And like you said, why do you want those things? What do you want to come from all this? And just take time to really sit and write it all out and then come back and look and like, oh wow, like, I didn't even realize I wanted these things because I've never even considered it before.
Yeah, and people will get emotional too because they'll figure out their why and they'll be like, "Oh my God, like this makes sense. This is truly what my calling is, or this is what gets me up in the morning." Stuff like that. Um, and it all starts the same way for each of us. You need to stand up and have a hard look in the mirror about where am I at? Am I happy here? Am I fulfilled here? Do I
Mhm.
want something different? And if like 99% of people should, you want something different, then you got to start doing things different.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And that's where this program that I take people through as part of our coaching is thinking into results and changing the way that you're thinking in order to change your results. So if you want that different thing in your life, you can start with your mind. You can start by changing how you're thinking and be amazed at how it will start shifting things in your life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it all starts in the same spot, right? And it's then it becomes the action part. Like, okay, we've got this lined out. You know why this is important. You know why you need to do this. Take step one. It's like what do they say? It's taking a first step, even if it's imperfect, is so much better than waiting for perfection to happen because it
Yeah.
never will.
Yeah. And if you've done that work internally, where you're taking that step from makes a huge difference too. So when you're in alignment with what you want and you've done all of the things with your paradigm and all that, then the action that you take is going to have a much different effect because what you put out is what you're going to get back. So even if you don't realize it, I mean, yes, you do want to take action, but you also want to take action from a good place inside. So even if that just means taking 2 minutes to like visualize and think about what it is that you're wanting and then do it and then take action. And that will make a huge difference too.
Yeah. So, well, before we kind of get wrapped up, but what do you find is the best way to help someone overcome the gift that keeps giving of procrastination? Like, how do you guide someone to actually get over that and start doing it?
Yes. And I think that just comes back to making a decision. So um, I forgot who it was that Bob would always quote, but he talked about how you just have to make that decision right away. The most successful people, well, they know what they want, right? And so they make decisions quickly and then they act on them. And so if the longer you think about it, the longer you procrastinate on it, the longer that you hem and haw, the less likely that whatever it is going to come into fruition. So you really just have to make a decision and go. And there's a wonderful article that I'll send to you so that you can add it to the show notes. I just think it's really great on this topic of making decisions and just how important that is. And that will stop your procrastination as well, because once you've made a decision, and then you also, along with it, make, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. And then you just do it. You just do it. Like, just take a breath and go. And then stop.
Yeah.
And don't look back. Don't look back at the past. Don't look back at anything else. Just this is the decision. This is where I'm going moving forward. And then just stay the course.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Once you get into that mode of thinking about it,
Mhm.
you need to realize that the ultimate success is on the other side of you taking action. You
Mhm.
know, no one out there, no matter how successful they are, if it's monetarily, non-monetarily, whatever, however they measure success, their success is based on the fact that they presented with something, they make a decision quickly, and then they get to work on it.
Yeah.
That's very simple how it works.
Mhm.
They don't take time to think about or, to wait for the right market criteria to happen. No, they just go. So,
Exactly it. Yes. And you waste no time. So that's another thing Bob would always say, create your own economy. Don't worry about what people are saying the economy is like or the market is like or whatever it is. Create your own. And once you make the decision, spend no time thinking about why you can't do it or why it won't work. Think only about how it can work. So don't even waste any energy on thinking about, oh, it might not work because this might happen or that might happen. Or don't even start. Like just only focus on how can it work? Can and what do I need to do to make it work? And never even entertain the negative thoughts.
mhm. Yeah, it's because it's only gonna, it's analysis or paralysis by analysis, right?
Mhm.
The more you think about it, the less likely you are to actually start moving forward. So,
Yeah,
well, cool.
absolutely.
Well, we've got a couple minutes left. So, Jenny, I will give you the floor. Just let people know how to get a hold of you, anything that you got for us, and then everything will get included in the show notes. So,
Absolutely. So the first and easiest way is to go to it's bringonpossible.com. And so there I share with you, you can get a free book. I love this book. And just to get you started on changing your thinking and starting to realize what's possible. And it's called You Were Born Rich. And I think everybody just loves that title. But it's just a really great place to get started. And then from there, there's links to like socials and my full website if you're interested in that as well. And then yeah, but I would love to connect with everybody and to see you at bringonpossible.com. You can get your free book and start.
Hey, and if you're not a book reader, there's no time like the present to become one, right?
Yes, it's pretty short and it just has it's filled with like really great information about this whole topic, starting to change your thinking, changing how you see yourself, and that yes, you indeed would just talking about the abundance around you and that it truly is everywhere. I mean, just that stat always is staggering and always gets to me, but that 1% of the population makes 96% of the income earned. And there's clearly abundance out there, and you can absolutely tap into that as well. And I think this just is a really great way to get you started on that journey.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Jenny, for joining us today. It's been enlightening. I will say I've learned some stuff. So I appreciate that. But other than that, all the information that Jenny just talked about will be in the show notes for us here. But other than that, thank you for tuning in to Do Different podcast. And Jenny, it was a pleasure to meet you.
It was a pleasure talking with you. Thank
And
you.
we'll see you guys all later.